We made that decision as the governing body of the Allied Pilots Association, as a sole responsibility of our own group, even though we had previously and still do sympathize with the position of the other pilots in view of the many court injunctions and the various statements in the press and et cetera, where other major competitors may or may not be flying. We feel like that we have gone as far as it's necessary to go at this particular time.
Well, obviously, we're very pleased that we're going to be able to continue to serve our customers on Monday, and we believe that the association acted in a proper manner, not violating the laws of striking. However, the point that they have made is one that should be recognized by the world, in that we should do more toward boycotting countries that won't return hijackers, and at the same token, not permit those countries to serve our country. If we do things in this manner, possibly we can get the attention of the individuals involved, and they won't be continuing their efforts of hijacking.
Well, I can't worry about what critics say. I simply call the shots as I see them and let it fall where it may. I certainly don't intend to roll up my tent and walk away. I'm deeply concerned with public government, with full participation in party politics, and I would be less than true to myself, if you want to put it in such a cliched way, if I would ignore such things as I feel that are so obvious.
The total number of signatures is not bad, 22,000, but the laws that presently exist says those must be people who have not voted in the recent primary. And in effect, what that means is you've got to get your signatures from people who are uninterested in politics. We're going to challenge that law in the courts. We're going to say that's an unreasonable demand.
I've got the
12 Club, 5100 South Lamar.
and then 2800 Logan on the Sunset Strip. Now he was big on those, and he's got his girlfriend. They were staying at this address at one time, but we most likely he'd be at that motel if he's not home.
And the warrants that we had in the team.
You gonna put me up TV, man? At the night show.
Any statement you make can be used evidence against you at the time of your trial. That's concerning what you said. We get reasonable.
It was 2 a.m. Friday morning. Most people in Dallas had already put in a full day's work and turned in. But as Dallas slept, these three men were right in the middle of their workday. They're narcotics agents who pulled off one of the most successful drug raids in the city's history. Last week, 16 teams of city, state, and federal agents launched a secret raid on heroin pushers that lasted for 16 hours. They went after the so-called quality pushers, men and women who supply the city's addicts with heroin and create new addicts as they go. The agents aimed the raids at 58 key pushers, mostly located in South Dallas. From 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. the next morning, they combed the city and rounded up 32 suspects, all arrested on information gained during 3 months of undercover work by a black agent. How does an agent infiltrate the heroin pusher's world? I asked that question of team leader Sergeant Charles Mayberry.
Normally, the undercover agent has to have a certain amount of time in order to be accepted by the dealer. In other words, he has to set himself in with these people to gain their confidence.
How does he do that?
This is by associating with them, talking their language, being able to talk to them about drugs, which of course is a result of some of his training.
How long does he have to stay undercover, and what does he do when he's undercover to get enough evidence against the pushers?
Of course, he has to buy. This is the primary reason for him being out there. In order to make these buys, as I said before, he has to gain their confidence. There is no set procedure that he may go through.
Is it necessary for an agent to have an informant to be successful?
In this work, it is. You've got to develop informants. This is 90% of your job, actually, is developing informants. And this takes quite a bit of time devoted to developing informants by our officers.
What kind of danger is he in personally when he's living this undercover life?
Of course, he's always in danger of bodily injury or maybe even death, but he can minimize this if he can think on his feet, as we call it, being able to stick to a cover story and maybe even back it up.
Now, how do you keep this guy, his identity a secret, say after all these people have been arrested? How's he going to come out and still keep his identity a secret?
He will not, his identity will not be a secret when trial comes up. Until then, he is normally put back into other phases of police work and not associated with any other narcotic activities other than what he might run across on the street.
You got something like 32 the night of the raid. Do you expect to get the rest of them in the next couple of weeks, or all the 58?
I'm hesitant about putting a time limit on it. I don't think that we'll possibly get all the rest of them in a 2-week period, but I do feel like that we will eventually get all of them. They will sooner or later show up, and we do have warrants outstanding on all of these people, and I feel that they will be executed. We got what has been referred to as quality pushers. I mean, we didn't stop at the bottom man. We went all the way up to the top, and we actually got some real good, well-known dealers who have been dealing for some time that we've been attempting to make cases on for a long time, and just now we're able to.
How do you think this is going to affect the heroin problem and the heroin traffic in the city of Dallas? Think it's going to cut down on it?
I feel that it will for a period of time. Of course, we'll probably have people taking their place, which is normal. And as long as you've got drugs and you've got users, you're going to have a demand for it, and someone will supply it.
This one drug raid is primarily the work of one undercover agent. For 3 months now, he's totally immersed himself in the sordid world of the heroin addict. He's made his buys, and now they're paying off. In a few weeks he'll reemerge and return to his work as a normal policeman. But as one officer put it, sometimes it's awfully difficult for them to return to the normal world. Martha McIntire, Channel 8 News on the Move.